Darkness of white you can, through the sadness take your flight, and become the wings that pierce the veil, spreading strong and true tonight. Brought into the light at last by the cold exposing sun, I was granted freedom tame to become the chosen one.
Are you ready for the next Dubster Dive? Series where we take a look at something's English dub, let you know how it all is. And it's still March, so of course, covered something with Vic in it. Die, you're still here!
I am?
Yes! And
this is about the third time. Are you sure I'm still here?
fourth time actually, in a row. But,
I mean for this video.
oh, that's what you meant. Yeah, well, whatever. So, as you can tell from the title, we're covering Level E! Not to be confused for solo leveling. No, seriously, if you try looking up stuff on this anime, solo leveling's under related results. It's kinda dumb. Maybe this is the unofficial spin-off, Die. So,
Got the spins.
let's get right into this. Level E is a manga series written by Togashi, you know, Yu Yu Hakusho guy and Hunter x Hunter. This was before he became known for Hiatus X Hiatus, though, when he was taking a break from weekly shonens back in 1995. This manga would only have
Much
16.
better year.
Probably. I was too young to remember it very well, man. But yeah, this manga only had 3 chapters and 3 chapters. Damn it, 16 chapters. Dude, I got me saying 3 because we had to do this 3 times. I hate you. But yeah, 16 chapters, and yeah, the anime adaptation would be done in 2011. Why'd you wait so long? And would be done by Studio Pierrot, you know, people behind Naruto and Bleach, in conjunction with Studio Dave, the people behind JoJo and Undead Unluck. Which...
But why?
I don't...
This of all things.
I genuinely don't know. So what is this all about? Well, it's a comedy series instead of Togashi's usual shonen stuff, where aliens exist among us on Earth. Some friendly, some not. And we don't even know they're here because a lot of them take on disguises. One such alien is Baka, the prince of the planet Dogra, and he's on our planet because he wants to fuck with us.
He's an asshole.
Yeah, he literally gets off on trolling people and fucking with people. Human, alien, otherwise he doesn't care. He doesn't discriminate. So because of that, the show is arc by arc based, where each arc follows Baka's antics and the group of people he's fucking with at that time. I mean, we kind of got to break this down arc by arc. Hey, that's something. But, yeah. Before we get into that, though, animation, how is it?
Yes. Being so there's not really that much action, it's fine. Small amount of action, they either comedically do still frames or otherwise.
I mean, what about the OP, though? Didn't you say the OP made it all look action-y and shonen-y?
It made it look like it was going to be an action show, and it's also a big homage to Men in Black. As if the narration wasn't a big enough one.
Yeah, our narrator friend's a clear homage to that. We'll get to him in a bit, though. But yeah. Oh, yeah, animation's fine. Soundtrack is much the same way. Though the ending theme is going to be stuck with us forever, because for some reason, at the start of the ending theme, every episode, you get Baka going, "Are you ready?" And then it just plays the theme.
And you still couldn't find out whether it's the sub-boss singing it or
not. No, I couldn't. No. Someone could let me know. I mean, I know you said in the ending theme, though, speaking of that, it has typical crop circles thing.
No,
and UFO sightings or something.
People circles around UFO spottings in the sequel.
That's kind of amazing.
It's a stupid conspiracy theorist thing.
Well, let's get to the reason you're all here. The dub itself, which the dub was produced by Funimation in December of 2012. And it's at this point I realize every dub for Mignogna March this year has been done by Funimation. I promise we're switching that up next year, okay?
Subject to change.
Well, ADR director would be Joel McDonald, who did the first couple of seasons of Data Live, apparently worked on Hunter x Hunter at some point, so that's kind of funny, and Borderlands.
There were two good Borderlands games.
I never played them. The script would be done by John Burgermeyer, Monica Riel, and Clint Beckham. So, good news is there's no Mark here to fuck up the script.
There's no patriarchy.
Fuck your patriot anyway. God, what a dumb line. As far as the cast goes, our prince himself, Baka, would be played by the man, myth, the legend, Vic Mignogna, who's, you all know, Ed from FMA, and first voice of Crow from Ruby. I almost said Row from Kruby. Damn it. What's wrong with me today? But yeah, Vic would say that he drew from the Robin Williams role Mork from Mork and Mindy, who's an alien who goes from being very wacky and silly to serious at the drop of a hat, which Baka does.
Serious part.
There's a couple of moments where Baka's serious, though he just goes, you took me seriously, what's wrong with you? Because Baka's an asshole.
He's serious less than 1% of the time. In the other 90%, he's just an asshole.
Yeah, we're going to get to Baka's antics in a bit, but let's just say, Dai put it eloquently before we went live that he's the type of person that you'd want to sleep with a knife late at night.
That would make you sleep with a knife under your pillow.
Yep.
Because he's also the type that would just randomly wake you up in your sleep and just to say hi.
Yeah.
Just to be a dick like that.
Or while you're sleeping, surround your bed with nothing but surround sound stereos and then blast death metal while you're sleeping. That'd be one hell of a jump scare, wouldn't it? But yeah, Vic said this role in particular is a voice actor's dream because he was given nearly free reign with Baka because Baka is such a random character. So he was allowed to do a lot of improvising with him, such as imitating Kirk, or Yoda, or Palpatine, or Elvis Presley. Again with Elvis Presley? Etc.
The one that picked it.
It works, because Elvis the alien, Perfect Dark, huh? But yeah.
Played Perfect Dark.
You could tell Vic absolutely loves this role. He's gone on record saying that numerous times, that he fucking loved this character, which I don't blame him. Baka's the type of person you love watching his antics and laugh your ass off at him, but if you knew him in real life, you'd probably want to shank a bitch.
Get the pillow.
But speaking of which, let's get to our other major characters. So the first arc I've dubbed the Yuki Taka arc, which is like the first 3 episodes. Yuki Taka is a human that basically Baka lives in the apartment of. He moves in with him by being an asshole and even resorting to blackmail at moments to stay there. He's kind of a dick.
Kind of.
Yeah. Yuki Taka himself would be voiced by Micah Salsad, who's Soul from Soul Eater, and Yuno from Black Clover. But Yuki Taka's a baseball player. That's his whole thing.
Because of course he is.
He's part of the Kisaragi team, which according to Vic is the same team name from the anime Princess 9. Another anime Vic was in. Maybe we'll cover that sometime. I don't know. But, yeah. It's not the only reference to other baseball anime. Don't worry, we'll get to it later. But yeah. Micah said that Yuki Taka embodies the part of him that hates to be trolled and dicked around by people, because Micah himself hates being messed with like this. So...
just put it on the top shelf.
But yeah, some of the antics that you get between these two is pretty great. Like Baka trying to prove he's an alien to Yuki Taka by saying, "We come in peace, take me to your leader," and the exact voice and everything. Or where he touches Yuki Taka's finger and Yuki Taka goes, "I'm not a kid and you're not a little brown dude." Fucking E.T. I mean, that would have to be in the sub too, right? Because you said the way the animation
He touched his finger and it glowed.
Yeah. But the biggest dick move, or one of the biggest dick moves, because there's a shit ton I could go through, is when Yukitaka is messing with the remote control to Baka's space pod when it's being worked on by the Institute, and he accidentally blows it up. Baka would play up the loss of life, saying, "Imagine how many people lost a family member today. How many kids are fatherless? How many wives are now widows? And how many phones are ringing?"
70.
But yeah, he threatens to actually call the police on Yukitaka to tell them what he did if he doesn't let Baka stay there. Again, you could guess the idea. But the thing is would Baka actually do it?
Being so the police would also question him, probably not.
Yeah.
He wants to fuck with people, not be bothered by them.
That's literally how you could tell with his whole thing. Now the next character to go over in this arc is Miho, who's Yukitaka's neighbor. Her daddy works for the Institute, so her whole thing is she can immediately tell like if someone's a spy, or she constantly looks for bugs. And Yukitaka goes, man, her childhood must have been hell. She agrees to help hide the alien from the police and everything. And yeah, she's voiced by Lindsay Seidel, who's Eris from Jobless Reincarnation, and Nightfall from Spy Family. You can kind of tell this is one of her earlier roles, too, because she hasn't found her voice yet. So, not bad, but you can tell this is her very early. But yeah. Now for Baka's attendants. So, 3 aliens, also from Dagra, come to Earth to look for him because, as they put it, Baka's an idiot and they need him for a peace conference with the other aliens. So the first one is Captain Kraft, who's voiced by Jason Douglas, Beerus from Dragon Ball Super, and Claude from Black Butler. And he fucking hates working for Baka, which do you blame him?
Who wouldn't?
Yeah, Baka...
Tell me if you heard this before, he smokes.
Jason Douglas voicing another smoker? Yeah, he's typecasted here. There's another typecast for him. You know, the gruff veteran, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, when Baka lies about having amnesia, because that was another lie he told everyone, Kraft just goes, I remember hearing at one point that if you hit someone who has amnesia with the same force that made them lose their memory, then they might get their memory back. All right, Prince, come here. And Baka goes, why do you look like you're smiling right now? And Kraft just beats the shit out of him. It's like, don't worry, Prince. I'll help you get your memory back. But then they find another way to look into Baka's past, and Kraft just goes, oh, you mean I have to stop? He sounds so sad about that.
Wouldn't you?
As far as the other two, the next one is Sato, voiced by Jared Green, who's Huang Dong-soo from Solo Leveling. God, whenever we dubster that, I'm going to have trouble with those names. And Cobra from Fairy Tail. And this is another one you can tell is definitely, if not his first, one of his first roles. I don't want to be mean, but I've sat through this show twice now, and so in the early episodes, some of his lines do almost sound like he might be reading off the script. He clearly is just now getting into this. So, you know, he's definitely come a long way, I think. Yeah, as far as Sato's role, isn't he like the tech guy?
And Kraft's yes man.
He gives exposition on the other aliens, too.
And
yeah.
Basil, exactly.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. Jared does get better near the end. Like in the last arc, you could tell he's finding his groove. But early on, you can tell he's just starting. Now, for the last one, Colin. Voiced by Ian Sinclair, who's Luke Atmey from the Ace Attorney anime, and the second voice of Konda from D. Gray Man. And is it just me or did he sound a little off here? You know, some of his... That could be down to directing, though, because it's not like this was one of his early roles. He was voicing since OG FMA. Oh, I don't know.
You never know.
Yeah, maybe he was just having an off day. But Colin is a character I honestly could not find the reason he also existed. I feel like you could probably erase him and Sato would fill both roles fine. Aside from that one time Colin simps, but that's in a future arc. Unless you got something about him.
No, that's about just that. It's just that. The only thing he really affects is that arc and the final arc.
Yeah. And, yeah, he's someone who begrudgingly goes along with Kraft and Sato's schemes, I guess, but I don't know, he doesn't have much pressure on me. After that, though, we've got the narrator himself, Bruce Carey, who's Gerard from Black Summoner. Oh, no, you think there's going to be another scandal involved. I had to.
There's going to be no embezzlement.
And he's the narrator from Sayuki Reload Blast. Also one of the narrators from Panty and Stocking with Guard. How do you get typecasted as narrators?
I mean, have you heard his voice?
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, you can tell he's having fun doing it. He gives a pseudo-different narration each episode. So it's slightly different each time. Hell, in one episode, he even gives a southern accent narration. There are aliens out there, etc. But yeah, this is what Dai was up about with the whole Men in Black thing. Because a lot of his narration sounds straight out of Men in Black.
Yeah.
But it even plays the music in the background, the woo shit that you'd expect for alien stuff.
Yeah, and some of the OP animation is just straight out looks like it's fucking referencing the Men in Black animated series.
Well, the last ones to go over for the arc are the Discunians, who are another race of aliens that get roped into one of Baka's schemes. Because, yeah. See, the Discunians are apparently a race of people that have conquered a bunch of planets. So, Kraft does not want to piss them off. Lo and behold, Baka might have killed one of the Discunians. Or did he? Yeah, kind of turns out this was actually all bullshit. Baka did a whole acting thing. He never lost his memory either, obviously. Why? Because, well, he told the Discunians, he's like, I want to test my mental loyalty, so y'all will help me out with this, right? Don't say a word to them. Like, oh, sure, why not, man? But it turns out, no, it's because Baka thought it would be funny to fuck with everyone. But... yeah, if you're wondering how the Discunians convincingly could play dead, it's because when they're in a near-death situation, like when they're in danger, they will immediately, like their body will shut down as if they're in a fake death state. Or as Miho puts it, they're playing possum.
That's some good eating.
Damn it. I mean, this is one fuck up from Sato, though, where he says, from some point in their existence, they must have been threatened by much stronger species. He's missing an A there. It should be by a much stronger species. But
I think it just means species in general.
Possibly. But yeah, let's get into these guys. So the first Discunian is Lafferty, voiced by Newton Pittman, who's twice from My Hero Academia and Gray from Fairy Tail. And he's a big baseball fan, because apparently all the Discunians are big into baseball.
What are they, just Japanese as a whole?
Yeah, he even marks out for meeting Yukitaka, saying, it's nice to meet a promising young prodigy like yourself. He's like, I'm not a prodigy. It doesn't matter, man. I feel like you can go places. Give me your autograph, bruh. You gotta love his passion for the sport at the very least.
Enough passion to knock his own front teeth out for it. Wait,
yeah, for the role, because he really wanted to pretend to be dead. And then the other Discunian to go over is Genpachi, who's the leader of the Discunians in this region. Also the landlord for Yukitaka, because of course he is. Voiced by Bill Flynn, who's Roy from Attack on Titan, and Barnes from Bakudo. And, yeah, there is foreshadowing with their whole baseball thing, where he sees Yukitaka's hands when Yukitaka first moves in Ep 1. It's like, huh, you really are solid at baseball, aren't you? I could tell. These hands are calloused. Clearly you practice a lot. So, I guess the whole race are baseball nerds. Well, that's basically it for the first arc. Did you like it, Dai?
It needed more violence. Wait, what?
I mean, there's a couple of other things quickly mentioned before moving on. Like, for some reason, Baka's device making the Donkey Kong arcade cabinet sound effects. Why?
Because it makes sense if you don't think about it.
Or Yukitaka saying to Kraft, "Your mom is so ugly she makes onions cry." I don't know why that line made me laugh so much. It's so stupid, but it did for some reason. And Kraft just shouts back, "How dare you! You've never met my mama!" Or Baka acting out Miho and Yukitaka's meeting with CG puppets?
The CG in this show looks weird at times.
But, yeah, where he's like, "Hi, Yukitaka, I'm Miho. Oh, nice to meet you, Miho. I'm Yukitaka." He's such an asshole, dude. But yeah, moving on from that, the next one was a one-off episode, which barely had any Baka in it. So I'm not going to go over any of the Vuz in it. Just say that Robert McCollum, Josh Greeley, and Chuck Huber weren't here. But it's focused on aliens from the planet Conwell, a race of men who eat women to reproduce. And the craving is so bad they can't resist. Making things even more tragic is they actually develop romantic feelings for the women that they devour. The whole thing's going for the theme of we eat animals to survive, and these guys have to eat in order to reproduce or they'll die out. Making things worse is that it has to be with people from their own race, and the race is nearly extinct, so eating human women can't work at all. Yet it doesn't matter, because the craving is still there. So this race is just fucked. I don't know, Di, I feel kind of bad for them. It's sad.
But then but then the plot twist is it was a movie, the whole movie pitch the whole time from Baka.
Yeah, I really like this one-off episode, though. Some of the shit in it kind of reminds me of the Chimera Ant stuff from HXH later on. Won't be the first time you'll see some prototype stuff for Hunter x Hunter, actually, in this series. Which brings us to our next arc, and my personal favorite arc of the show, the Color Rangers arc. So the premise is Baka abducts 5 kids and forces them to become Power Ranger knockoffs, or Super Sentai knockoffs, whatever you want to call them, to fight in the name of justice for him. Why? Because he was bored. That's it. He even takes on the role of he even takes on the role of the Demon King in their first quest. To be like, you got it. To be free from these Color Rangers bracelets or whatever, you got to defeat me. Yeah. Speaking of which, the Color Rangers would actually get their own theme song that Vic would sing. He translated the whole thing, in fact. So, you get such lyrics as, "Go, go, go, Color Rangers." Subtle, right? What?
As subtle to the knife to the butt.
What? What is wrong with you? Vic actually said he wanted to insert a reference to the Risen Bull Rangers in the song, but he couldn't. That's his fan site, if anyone's wondering. And to be honest, it's a nice gesture, but I'm kind of happy he wasn't able to. I feel like that would be going a little too far with localization, personally. But still. As far as our Color Rangers go, let's get to them. First, we have Tayo, the Red Ranger, who's the nerd of the group. Voiced by Leah Clark, who's Frenda from the certain Railgun franchise, and Suzuka from Suzuka and Fuka. And yeah, she gave him a nerdy voice, so you know he's slightly nasally, etc.
I mean, with his appearance, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. But Dai, he's red, so he gets to be the leader! He shouts that.
That joke is made so often in these Super Sentai thing.
Yeah. But yeah, she does fine. After her, we have Yoshiki, the Blue Ranger, or as people have called him online, Prototype Gon. I mean, did you even say he looks kind of like Gon?
Yes.
Well, he's voiced by Terry Doty, who's me from Bo Fury. No, not me. The character's name is me.
You picked a terrible one.
And Kana from Golden Kamuy. That's fine. She would actually go on record saying her favorite line from him is shouting, "This is balls!" Getting angry at Baka. Because, I mean, of course. But yeah, making the Gon comparison even more is that Yoshiki actually really likes martial arts. Is there even a moment where he bangs his head against a tree?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Go headbutt a tree. It'll make you feel better.
Just like Gon would. Gon probably would. Maybe he did. I don't remember. Seen Hunter x Hunter since it aired. But yeah. Much like his rival, though, Kunimitsu, who's the Yellow Ranger, voiced by Chris George, who's the narrator from Black Clover, and Joseph from Dime a Dollar, Prince vs. Penguin Empire. What a fucking title. And, yeah, Chris actually said he got this role immediately in one go. Like, as soon as he auditioned for it, he got it right away. Or you could just go with his nickname, Chubbs. That's what everyone apparently calls him, because he's fat! Words of Scott Steiner. But yeah. As I said, he's basically Yoshiki's rival. You know. Next one is Mayo, the Black Ranger, voiced by Afia Yu. And this apparently is her second role after Mikuni from Shangri-La. Not to be confused with Shangri-La Frontier. How? How are there two anime dubbed by the same company? And never mind.
It makes sense if you don't think about it. What do you mean the same company? That company's under.
Oh yeah, you're right. There's Frontier's Crunchyroll. Very bad. She's also Tonika Sawada from Horimiya. And, yeah, I mean, the voice actors all just called him the emo one. Which, sure.
Which is true.
Yeah. And I'd love to have some form of commentary story for you with her, but all I got is her telling a story about how one time she was confused for a boy at one point in real life. That's it. You're welcome for that. Must be really awkward for Micah, I'm sure. Anyway, the last one to go over is Osamu, the White Ranger, who's the playboy. By that I mean he literally is like, yeah, I've got a crush on this girl, and he names off like 80 people. Yeah. He's voiced by Caitlin Glass, who's Damien from Spy Family and Winry from FMA. She actually said she read for all of them but the White Ranger, and then she read for him last at the very end, thinking like, oh, I might as well give it a shot, and that's the one she ended up getting. So, you know. Personally, I've never been a fan of her Shota voice, but that's just me. Yeah, I love the Spy Family dub, but that equates even to that one, too. I don't think she does bad or anything. It's just a me thing. Tomboy Lives Matter, Ty!
I was waiting for it.
Sorry, I don't know what that was all about. Fucking
yeah,
retarded.
It sounds weird. Anyway, she should watch the show by Rock Dubster Lives.
Anyway, the last one to go over for this arc before we actually get to some of the plot stuff with it is Tachibana, the teacher, who's actually an alien assassin. Lizard. An alien lizard assassin.
Thing.
Voiced by Lydia Mackay, who's Vanessa from Black Clover and Madame Red from Black Butler. Two anime that I'm sure, based on the titles, are about black people in some way.
What?
Am I wrong?
You might want to read that again.
Yeah, she does fine. She actually, in the beginning, the Rangers are like, oh shit, she's an assassin, she might kill. It's like, no, she actually turns out to be a really cool person. In fact, Baka tries setting them against each other, and when she finds out it's Baka, she's like, oh, of course it was Baka. Yeah, the whole universe knows that, asshole. That makes sense now. And then she would go on to say, like, yeah, obviously, we didn't bring this up earlier, Baka means stupid, but Baka himself is actually highly intelligent. He just puts his intelligence into being an asshole.
Yeah, he does.
But yeah. The main crux of the plot is all the Rangers getting teleported in to Demon Quest 7. Which, as Maya would put it, it was clearly made in RPG Maker. It's a parody of Togashi's favorite game, Dragon Quest. I mean, did you even say the logo looks the same, Guy?
Yeah. Also, it's an isekai now, technically.
Yeah, because there was a different planet that Baka was able to turn into this, because it's a planet that lets you edit it or something using a game console. But yeah. And the quest they have to do is save the princess, who's Baka dressed like a woman. You get Vic doing a high-pitched posh accent. Hello, would you like to be with me? I can't even do it, like, because he does slightly British with that voice on top of it, dude.
Yeah.
Hell, even mid-sentence, he'll be like, so you need to beat the game, and then he immediately switches mid-sentence to his Broly voice. Also, this is the ep where fucking Vic hijacks the narration and starts narrating it himself. Also in a southern accent, by the way, for some reason.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. But, yeah, so they have to save the princess before she's buried off to the Demon King or whatever. And I love Kunimitsu's line here where he just goes, I don't care, let him be the demon's bitch. I mean, would you let him be the demon's bitch after that?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you do get a moment where he's abducted by Luch, the Demon King's general. Voiced by John Swayze, if anyone's wondering. You know, Crocodile from One Piece. And he gets one of the best line reads where he goes, Princess, are you normal down there? And Baka just says, let's just say, you're in for a surprise. You're in for a surprise, Di.
Surprise, penis.
But yeah. It basically culminates at the end when they manage to escape by becoming friends with the Demon King. Which, by the way, Baka is angry at, because he's like, if they're not trapped here any longer, then how can he fuck with them? Baka's such a nice guy, right?
Yeah.
He's like, you didn't even get to use the special technique, the Hammer of Justice. They're like, oh, really? How do we do that? All 5 of you have to point your fingers at the same target and shout Hammer of Justice. Yeah, you know what they all do. They all pointed at Baka.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
A nicer alien indeed. Also, I liked how some of the Rangers, by the way, did get addicted to the game before they ended up facing the Demon King or anything like that.
He taught them the values of being addicted to MMOs.
Yeah.
A true life lesson.
Taya was the one who was already a fan of being the Ranger. He's like, I don't want to give this up. This is awesome. I'm a hero of justice. And the rest of them are like, you know what? Yeah, we look stupid, but this is actually kind of fun being this. It's like, I think anyone would agree. But yeah. The arc closes out with them all singing the Color Rangers theme together. Isn't it great, Di?
Yes.
If you're in danger, just wait for the Color Rangers.
Stranger danger?
That's not what I meant. I mean, if Baka showed up, anyone would be shouting that, I imagine. Now, there is one more Color Rangers episode later on, so I might as well cover it here. About a mermaid. Yeah, a mermaid who gets abducted by poachers. Named Lorelei, voiced by Lucy Christian, who's Nami from One Piece, and Trish from the Devil May Cry anime. The old one, not the new Netflix one that is probably not going to be very good.
Kind of shit.
Yeah.
I don't trust Netflix.
I mean, after Castlevania Doctor. Anyway, back on topic. So, yeah, Lorelei's whole thing is she's forced to work as a slave for money to save her people. It's just Nami. Again.
If you don't think about it, it's completely different.
I mean, she does fine in this role. This episode, not much to say. It's a really good episode about friendship and, you know, about one of the Rangers potentially having to move away and thinking they might have to say goodbye and all that stuff. and they learn the value of being friends. And they befriend a mermaid at the end.
Yes. But they hand a gun, and she literally just straight up just shoots her abductors.
I mean, yeah. After she found out they were lying to her this whole time, and they actually, all of her kind were dead. Do you blame her?
Also, something about the teacher helping them in the background, or they would have gotten shot.
Yeah. That's a nice lizard. Alright. We're almost done. The next arc is what I call the Mokbok arc. So the Mokboks are a race of aliens that, they're only women. And once a generation, their queen has to mate with a male from another species in order to reproduce. They only mate once, but the problem is, whatever species they mate with, the males will immediately be unable to reproduce. So, yeah.
You win some, you lose some.
It's a fucked situation all the way around. Well, their queen, or princess, soon-to-be queen, Saki, is coming to Earth to look for a mate, meaning humanity could be doomed.
Humanity had a good run. It probably.
I knew you were gonna say. I was like, he's gonna say humanity had a good run, isn't he? I fucking knew it.
And they probably deserved it.
Also, the Mokboks have a really cool filter on when they're speaking. So basically, this episode, or these two episodes, do the cool thing. Whenever they're not speaking in Earth tongue, as they put it, they have a filter on over their voice.
Instead of doing a different language.
Yeah, which I think is cool. So yeah, Saki the princess is voiced by Stephanie Sheh, Orihime from Bleach, and Eureka from Eureka 7. And, yeah. I waifu this alien die, don't judge me, I'm sorry! What?
You have doomed the human race.
I mean, yeah. I love how Kraft tries telling, the Mokboks about human culture by making it sound really terrible. Like, Christmas Eve is the one day humans are at their horniest. These couples you see today will be different couples next year. Humans are very, very promiscuous in a sense. They never stay with the same partner.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, and Saki's like, that's kind of sad. Like, you can tell she's a little put off by it. But of course, Colin, this is what we mean by him simping. He's like, no, don't feel bad. That's not all humans. Some do stay together when, right out of the gate. And Kraft goes, whose side are you on, you idiot? Because again, Kraft's trying to save humanity, and Colin's just being a bitch. It's like, I can't help it. I felt so bad for her. What did you want me to say? But yeah, the human she ends up falling in love with is Kyoko Mikihisa, who is voiced by Ryan Reynolds, Gabta from The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, and Kanetsugu from Asura's Revenge. And I think you all know what joke is coming. You see, Mikihisa is a woman who believes she's a man. So I think you could understand where we're going with this. Saki doesn't know this at first when she falls in love with Mikihisa. And, yeah. The punchline at the end of the episode. I mean, hey, Baka even explains when he shows up how, Mikihisa is basically a man aside from her vagina. He does this in an Einstein voice, by the way, because of course he does. But yeah. The episode goes from there with the Mokboks trying to turn Mikihisa into a man because they're masters at genetics. And Baka and company being like, well, how are we going to save the human race? And Baka's like, oh, don't worry. I have a way to save the human race by cloning Mikihisa without letting the Mokboks know. And hey, it ends up working. So, there's that. Also, Ryan Reynolds does a good job. She has to do a much deeper voice for the male version of Mikihisa. But yeah. Anything else sad about this arc, Dai?
No. Also, alien STDs.
Yeah, they even refer to it as an STD. Oh yeah, when Baka does show up, this
that's
is
that's what essentially euthanizes the whole race.
yeah. That's basically what we were saying. But the one line I want to bring up is when Baka shows up, because Kraft was trying to not let Baka know in the beginning that the mock blocks were here. So when Baka shows up, Kraft's like, "How did you know I was here?" And Baka goes, "Well, you made the reservations with the princess on your house phone." And he goes, "Did you bug my phone?" And Baka goes, "Bugging is such a nasty word." Yes, I bugged your phone.
Because of course you did.
He's such an asshole, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, he also technically bugged a cat in the first arc by putting a camera on its forehead.
Yeah. Now the last one-off episode is the one with Yukitaka's baseball team, where they end up in an alternate dimension. They keep making references to the Twilight Zone and the Bermuda Triangle. Or as Yukitaka's team captain calls it, must be one of them porno geists. And even one of the team members goes, "I think you mean poetry." I know what I said. And yeah, there's too many people to go over here, but all I'll say is this. Joel went out of his way to cast a bunch of people who were in Big Wind-Up, which is another baseball anime funny dubbed. Greg Ayres, Aaron Dismuke, Jeremy Lee, Scott Freeman, Todd Abercorn, Joel himself, asshole idea art director, and even Micah. So, there's that. But yeah, this episode probably is one of my favorite Baka quotes too, where he says, "Any one of you is a suspect, except you, but just remember that you that's suspecting everyone else could also be a phony." The fuck does that mean?
It sounds like a conspiracy theorist's wet dream.
Yeah, there's also a point when Yukitaka goes, "Why do you try turning everyone against each other?" And Baka goes, "Because it's fun."
So
he's such a prick. I love him. He's such a he's
he must be a porno geist.
Exactly. But yeah, it's another fun one off. Now the last episode is what I call the Baka arc. Last two episodes, where so basically Baka's fiancée Luna from the sister planet to Dagra, Magra, is coming to marry him, and his brother is here too. Mohan, to try convincing him. And Baka doesn't want to get married because he's like, "Fuck this, I can't have fun dicking around with people anymore. I'll be tied down, man." Oh, yeah. Luna is voiced by Colleen Clinkenbeard, who's Charlotte from Black Clover and Luffy from One Piece. She does fine. Any complaints? There's a whole twist with this arc coming up too with that. Same with Mohan, who's basically the opposite of Baka. In fact, a bunch of the Dogrins actually want Mohan to take over. Why did I say that like Shatner? I don't know. Anyway.
Maybe you watched it too much.
But yeah, so because Mohan is serious, no nonsense, and actually wants to get shit done. In fact, he even wants Baka to marry Luna solely because it's the old tradition. The first prince has to marry the first princess of Magra. Like, that's the thing. But, yeah, see, they're also on a time limit, too, because once Baka turns into an adult for Dogrins, which is coming up in a month, then suddenly it has to switch over to Mohan. Speaking of which, Mohan is voiced by Eric Vale, who's Sunraku from Shangri-La Frontier, and Diablo from How Not to Summon a Demon Lord. Good. Let's fight here. Actually, this is where one of the action scenes happens. When Baka and Mohan end up fighting. Because doesn't Mohan charge at him with a sword at one point?
Maybe?
Yeah, you remember that? Because Baka even says, he does the whole, "If you strike me down, I shall become even more powerful." Yes, in the Kenobi voice. Apparently the line originally was him saying, "Patience, young one." But Joel said it had to be Kenobi because they already did Yoda earlier in the same arc, where Baka says, "Show you I will." So they wanted to make it less repetitive. But, yeah. Oh, I'm sure y'all could guess the twist at the end. Baka ends up getting forced to marry Luna because Luna and Mohan end up outsmarting Baka, which they're actually surprised by. It's like, I didn't think this would work. They use doppelgangers or some shit as stand-ins. It's a whole thing.
Or the doppelgangers tried to use them, but they used the doppelgangers.
Instead, yeah.
It's a whole thing.
I thought it was funny, by the way, when Luna is basically giving her speech about how she wants to marry him or whatever. And Yukitaka's like, what is she saying? You know, asking him to translate. And Baka just goes, you know, female stuff. Blah, blah, feelings, blah, blah. Damn it, Baka. Oh, yeah. That's basically it. Overall, what do you think of the anime, Ty? I really liked it. Again, we don't want to spoil everything. We just went over the arc by arc and went over some of the fun stuff with the dub and things we enjoyed. Y'all should watch it.
Yeah, go look for the One Piece. You will find it.
Yep, because this anime is out of print, and it is also not on anything because fuck Crunchyroll. Oh, it's not even on YouTube.
Yeah. You can probably barely find out anything about it on YouTube. This will probably be like one of the 5 videos on it.
Possibly, which is weird being as how who the mangaka was. I guess this is one of his lesser known works.
People have such a hard-on for Chimera Ants that they ignore everything else.
I don't blame them, though! Hunter x Hunter is awesome! Anyway, back on point, though.
Something Dark Tournament.
Oh, if someone's gonna ask who's on the commentaries for this, it's the 5 Color Rangers in one, and Vic and Mike on the other. So there you go. I answered that question. Someone was asking about, on one of the Show by Rock videos, there was a comment asking that. But yeah, as far as what the anime covered, it covered literally everything from the manga except the final chapter? Why? You couldn't extend the final episode by like an extra 10 to 15 minutes? Or even give us a little OVA or something?
No. That would make sense. I mean, that's a total Baka thing to do.
Yeah. I hate you for that.
You just hate me because I'm right.
As far as MVP of the dub, it's got to be Vic, obviously. The amount of range he used to go all over the place with Baka, especially with what kind of character Baka is. Yeah, this is the type of role you have to show that you're having fun playing. And absolutely love every second of it, and he clearly does.
If you have that role and aren't having fun with it, then you're doing something wrong with your life.
Agreed. Also, yes. Vic voicing another blonde dude. Even he memed about that himself.
Aryan.
Yeah. But that's gonna do it. Hope y'all enjoyed this little rambling. Love a weed, breaking everything down. What have some of y'all thought of the series if you've seen it? What do you think of it? What your favorite arc is? I still think the Color Rangers arc is by far the best. It's because we grew up on Power Rangers, Die.
Hopefully this is the final time we have to do this, because a part 4 would be so stupid.
Don't jinx it, you fuck! But alright, guys. One more for Mignogna March, and it's the main event. So I hope you all enjoyed us for that. And
welcome to the next level.
Thanks again so much for watching. Hope you all have a great day. Till next time, just remember these parting words from Baka. Are you ready?